Hey everyone, we have an update on eFootball version 4.1, and the most exciting news of all, as you can see, co-op is back, for a few days at least. But in other exciting news, we've got this FIFA eWorld Cup thing, and as you can see, it's 2v2 on console, so we've actually got some kind of meaningful co-op by the looks of it. I've not looked at it in any more detail, I've not tried it yet, but by the looks of it, 2v2. Excellent. So, in your inbox, what else do we have with the update? There's not a lot on the kind of news bulletin thing about the update. So you see, when you play online, you can only select your thrower or your kicker once. Wow, massive update. Something to do with the algorithm for player ratings. Bits and bobs to do with licensing. Some competitions have been updated a bit. A couple of minor bugs. Doesn't look like much really. We know they've made some minor tweaks to the gameplay in the background though, so it'll be interesting to see what people say about the gameplay over the next few days. So, in your inbox, there's a lot in my inbox, but most significantly, you get a free Delict card and also a free chance deal on... Which pack is it? It's the Japan one. We've got a Japan Legend pack here, so your chance deals for this one. Could go on these cards, they look decent enough. And in terms of the other packs we've got today, obviously 2 Player of the Week packs. I'm going to be reviewing the regular Player of the Week pack in this video, and there's a Champions League one, I'll be doing that later. We've also got some national team selections. We've got Korea, Indonesia, China. There's an AI challenge where you can get one free spin on each of these 3 packs. And then we've got new nominating contract packs. Where are they? All the way along here. So we've got Brazilian League, Turkish League, and Japanese League, just like last time, 8 players in each. And we've got Legacy of Legends. We have a bunch of players whose dads were good footballers, basically. So yeah, new nominating contract packs. I'll be reviewing those in a separate video, along with the match pass players, and I'll give you my recommendations for your 3, 4, and 5-star contracts. And in terms of actual packs, a lot of people were hoping for partner club packs, but what we've got is Steven Gerrard. And Steven Gerrard is 88 rated for possession and long ball. Fantastic. So if you want a manager who can play possession and long ball, Merry Christmas. There you go. Outside of that, one thing we do have, or at least we're going to have soon, is more legends. Of course, they always add a bunch of legends to their database with these updates. There's a bunch of legends that we've had different versions of previously, but we've got some new ones, or at least ones we've not had for quite a while now. There's a Suarez Barcelona card in the database. It looks like there might be an MSN pack with Suarez, Neymar, and Messi. There's a Buffon legend card coming, and there's a Javier Zanetti one as well. So, could be some interesting ones for some of you there. But for this video, I'm going to be looking at the regular Player of the Week pack. So, as always, I have timestamps in the description for each player. So, if there's a particular player you want to hear about, click on the description. There'll be a link to take you straight to them. This week, it would seem generous because there are no 4-stars. We've got all 5-star players, but the lowest rating for a 5-star is 92, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 92 rated. So, not sure it's quite such an exciting pack, but let's find out for sure. We'll start with Gazzaniga, our goalkeeper. So Gazzaniga saved 2 penalties and one was actually retaken, so actually saved 3 penalties in one match. No surprise he's in Player of the Week, but it's not quite as amazing as I was hoping it'd be. He is a good card, he's a good keeper, but the reflexes, that's the one thing that's a bit of a letdown for me. Only 85 in reflexes. Ideally, I like the awareness and reflexes to both at 90 with the game plan boost. Awareness will just about, but reflexes you're only going to get up to 87, 88. So a bit of a shame, but catching's alright. Parrying's fantastic. They've given him a big boost to his normal parrying attribute, and a decent boost overall to be fair, and the reach will hit 90 as well. He's 6 foot, what's that, 6'4", 6'5". He's a tall guy, good reach, great parrying, good awareness. The reflex is a little bit of a letdown, but yeah, there was a previous Player of the Week version of Gazzaniga, I think last season. The parrying was a lot lower than this, 7 lower. The awareness was slightly higher, and the reflex is 4 higher. So yeah, it was. The overall rating was 1 higher, but I like looking at the attributes. I probably prefer the older one, even though this one's 1 higher. Did I say higher or lower? I got confused. But yeah, the previous one was rated 1 lower, but I think it looks a bit better because of the reflexes primarily. But the game's saying it was slightly worse. So yeah, I guess strictly speaking, this is slightly better, but it's pretty similar on the whole. Like I say, the parrying's up a lot from the GP card, and they've also added penalty saver, of course, and fighting spirit. Interestingly, we've got low punt and high punt, so. Interesting bunch of skills there, and yeah, like I say, it's a good goalkeeper card on the whole. Just I would like the reflexes to be a bit higher, to be honest, but it's not one that's going to let anyone down. I think a lot of people might have a better goalkeeper in their squad already, primarily because of those reflexes. But yeah, like I say, it's not a bad one. It's not going to let anyone down, and maybe it's for the Spanish League challenge. It'll be worth keeping hold of for that. So yeah, not an amazing card, not as good as I would have liked, primarily with the reflexes, but it's still a decent enough goalie card. And now we've got our first feature version of Thilo Kehrer from Monaco. So usually a build, no, not usually a build up. He's usually extra front man. They've made a bit of destroyer this time. They've shuffled his defensive attributes around a little bit, given a bit of a boost on his pace, his physical contact, his stamina. Yeah, it's a decent version of Kehrer in terms of his skills. All they've done is they've added low lofted pass. I don't think anything else has changed there. So we've got heading and aerial. Then we've got acrobatic clearance, blocker, interception, man marking. I think sliding tackle is the only defensive one you're really missing there. So yeah, decent special skills. The defensive attributes kind of decent but not amazing. Down the left, pretty much par for the course for a centre back. Nothing amazing there. Heading, I'd like to be a bit higher. He does have the heading skill. Decent pace for centre back. Jumping and physical, decent. Yeah, to be honest, that's just what you're looking at here. You're looking at a decent centre back. He's not massive. He's not got amazing aerial or physical attributes. He's not got amazing defensive attributes. He does have pretty decent pace, and he's got a good selection of skills. He's got right back on his positions, but you're not going to play him at right back. He can't do that. Not quick enough. Doesn't have the technicals. But as a centre back, yeah, no glaring weakness there, but just nothing amazing. And sadly, we don't get a league challenge for the French league. And we don't get a lot of the league challenges anymore because apparently they've stopped most of them for some bizarre reason. But yeah, maybe not the most useful card. I think but probably primarily for people who haven't been playing the game for long and need more centre back options. But it's not a bad card by any means. It's just not that amazing. So yeah, a decent card from Kehrer, just not brilliant. And next is Olivier Boscagli from PS3. So we have had one previous version of this guy that was in Player of the Week. And this is pretty similar, to be honest. They've kind of shuffled the attributes around a little bit, but nothing majorly different except the playing style. The previous Player of the Week had his regular playing style, which is build up. They've changed him to extra frontman this time. Not everyone's cup of tea. I don't personally like their playing style. An extra frontman will wander forward. I like my centre backs to stay back. And being brutally honest, is not amazing. Defensive attributes, certainly the awareness is good, but not amazing elsewhere. Technicals are right for a centre back. Heading 75 is not brilliant. He's only 5'11", I think. Pace is all right, but the jumping and physical there, not the tallest. Jumping and physical in the early 80s, and he doesn't have aerial superiority. They've added man marking and sliding tackle to the skills he does have. Got interception and block as well, sliding tackle. So, and he does have heading. So yeah, he's got a good selection of skills for a centre back, but he's badly lacking aerial superiority for a centre back who's not the tallest and doesn't have great aerial or physical attributes there. That's the big weakness with this guy. Outside of that, he's decent. There's nothing bad really elsewhere, but the aerial and physical attributes and the lack of aerial superiority, he's gonna be a bit lacking. Long range shooting, pinpoint crossing. I mean, you're gonna play this guy as a left back. He's not quick enough, so I think you're crazy if you play him as a left back. Defensive mid, I don't think he's good enough on the ball. I think ultimately you've got a centre back who's technically decent. Certainly got nice passing for a centre back. If you're like a kind of cultured centre back, then he's got some qualities, but without having more aerial and physical ability, especially since the eFootball 25 update or version 4 update, where physical contact became more important, that's a big letdown for me. And I don't like the extra frontman playing style. So he's got some qualities, got unwavering form as well. So for some people, it could be a nice centre back, but I think for a lot of people, including me, it's just not the most appealing one, to be honest. Now we have a very interesting version of Georginio Rutter. It is the first feature version we've had of Rutter. He's normally a goal poacher centre forward. They've added SS in attack and midfield. Not only that, but they've been extra generous. On a card in which you can't use position trainers, they've also added semi-proficient centre midfield. That's brilliant. He's also a hole player now instead of a goal poacher. And in terms of the attributes, he's had a pretty decent boost from his GP card, to be fair. His stamina's up a bit. He's better on the ball than he normally is. His passing has had a massive boost. They've taken a few points off his curl for some reason. But yeah, on the whole, pretty decent boost, especially with the passing. Skill-wise, we've lost chop, turn, and heading. They've added double touch and flip-flap. So combining that with soul control, which he's already got, that means he's got the ball roll double touch. So he's got a bunch of skill moves there for the dribblers. They've also added pinpoint crossing. I'm not sure if that's going to be overly useful. He's already got long range curler, first time shot, one touch pass. He's a super sub as well. So it's a really interesting selection of skills, actually. It'd be nice if he had through passing. I think that's the one skill he's really missing, especially if you're going to play him in those two positions, AMF or SS. I wouldn't play him AMF personally because even though his passing has had a massive boost, it's still not good enough for AMF in my opinion. And as a centre forward, attacking when it's 82, finishing 82, not good enough, those two attributes for centre forward. So for me, I'm looking at this guy as an SS. You're either going to play him as an SS straight behind the attack in a central position as a kind of number 10, or you're going to kind of put him out wide to the right as a left footer and have him as a kind of wide SS. You could have him on the left. He's a left footer. If you had him on the left, he's got pinpoint crossing, 8 lofted pass. His crossing could be decent, but it won't be amazing. But from the right, he's got long range curler as a left footer. So cutting inside as a kind of inverted forward onto his left foot could be decent, but he's not got that much pace though. So yeah, this guy's got some qualities and he's got a decent selection of skills, but it's a question of what position he's best in. AMF, not for me. Centre forward, not for me. SS, I think he lacks pace to do it out wide. So I think as an SS, just behind the attack with decent passing, decent on the ball, attacking awareness and finishing are fairly good for an SS. Pace is kind of average, good balance. Yeah, it's a card where he's got quite a few decent attributes. He's got a mostly very good selection of skills. I think, like I say, through passing is the one I think he's really lacking. He's also lacking a face scan. That's horrendous. But yeah, on the whole, I wouldn't say this is a bad card. He's certainly got some qualities. And it just depends on what you want from a player, really. If you don't mind the slight lack of pace, he could be good wide right as a wide kind of SS. If you don't mind the passing being a bit low, playing AMF or SS, you might get some joy out of him. And likewise, you don't mind the attacking moments and finishing being a bit low, then you could use him as a centre forward. But as I mentioned there, whatever position you play him, there are one or two attributes that you might consider a bit of a weakness. So I don't think it's a terrible card, but for me, it's not one that I think I would personally be able to find much of a use for. So not a brilliant one for me, but there might be people out there who get some use out of him. Now we have the first of a number of hat-trick heroes in this pack. So Davitashvili got a hat-trick for St Etienne against Auxerre. We've got a prolific winger who's normally a roaming flank, so a change to his playing style. He's had a pretty nice boost on the whole. It's an interesting one though, because they've slightly reduced the bunch. They've done this quite a bit lately. So yet again, we've got an attacking player and player of the week who's lost a bit of his balance. They've taken a bit of his attacking awareness. Why would you reduce the attacking awareness of a winger who scored a hat-trick? Someone please explain that to me. Low and lofted pass, both down a bit. But this is where the boost is, finishing. They've added about 20 to his finishing. Massive boost to his finishing. That does make sense. And in terms of his skills, they've added chip shot control. That's about it. So got a few skill moves for the dribblers. We've got long range curler. If you play him on the left, he's a right footed, so long range curler cutting onto his right foot will be very effective, especially with his finishing being in the 80s. Chip shot control, rising shot, acrobatic finishing, first time shot and long range shooting would be nice, but we've got a few shooting skills. One touch pass as well. Again, through passing would be nice, but kind of all, I guess. So yeah, it's a nice boost on the whole from his GP card. Just a few of them slightly reduced for no apparent reason whatsoever. And yeah, just look at it in isolation. The balance is a bit low. His passing is terrible. The attacking awareness is low, but he is pretty good on the ball. He does have pace. So I think this is one of these cards where if you like a wide forward and you like your wide forwards to be quick, good at dribbling and to be able to finish, then he could be good for you because he's got the pace. He is pretty good on the ball. He's got a few skill moves. He's got long range curl and he's got his finishing in the mid-80s there. So if that's the kind of player you like, a wide forward who's just literally going to be cutting inside and getting into goal scoring positions to get goals for you, you might get some use out of this guy, but the awareness for me is too low. His passing is terrible. It's a bit of a shame, and I'd like his balance to be a bit higher as well. So there are some weaknesses with this guy, but he's had a pretty decent boost compared to his GP card, and I think there'll be a fair few people who can get some use out of this card. It just depends what kind of what kind of qualities you look for in a wide man. And as for attacking midfield with that passing, absolutely not. But yeah, on the wing for some people, maybe not so great because he's got some weaknesses, but I think there are a fair few people who have some fun with this guy when you get him on the ball. And now we have another man who scored a hat-trick at the weekend. So we've got Mateo Retegui, scored a hat-trick for Atalanta against his old team, Genoa. We've had a few versions of Retegui. We've had a few trainable ones in legend boxes. He's normally a fox in the box. One of the previous trainable ones was a target man. But this one is slightly better than all of those cards, in my opinion. There's not a lot of difference. This one's got a bit more pace. It's got a bit more physicals as well than those previous versions at first glance. Way less balance though. They've taken, even compared to his GP card, we've lost about, I think, about 5 points off his balance. Again, they keep doing that with attacking players and player of the week. Why? He's been boosted on the ball though, and he's got a booster. We'll activate the booster in a moment, but he's a bit better on the ball than he has been previously. Bit worse at set pieces than normal for some reason. But yeah, let's activate that booster. So when you're on A form with Retegui, what do you get? You get attacking awareness, you get ball control, you get finishing, acceleration. That's excellent. So now with that booster, attacking awareness and finishing both hitting 90 with the game plan boost. Ball control's hitting 80. Dribbling was already going to hit 80. So this is a nice version of Retegui. He's a fox in the box. So pace not quite so important. Fox in the box, you kind of want a bit of everything. Just want a kind of an all-rounder. I like a fox in the box to be a bit physical, decent in the air, but to have a bit of technical ability as well in the build-up. This looks like an all-right card, to be honest. This looks decent. One slight letdown with Retegui, and he doesn't normally have it. And to be fair, he didn't score any headers in the match. All his goals with his feet, so I can't complain too much. But aerial superiority, he is good in the air. I feel like he deserves aerial superiority. If he had that, that would have really made him an even more appealing card, but he doesn't. He does have heading and acrobatic finishing though, and his jumping is all right at 80. So yeah, he's going to be all right in the air, but not brilliant. We've got first time shot, the most important one for a striker. Acrobatic finishing as well. Long range shooting. One touch pass. Have they added that? Yeah, they've added one touch pass. That's a new skill for Retegui. So yeah, it's a kind of all rounder up front. He looks decent to me. His pace is kind of average. He's got good kicking power. I think that's going to hit the 90 mark with your game plan boost. Physically quite strong. They have nerfed his balance. That's very annoying. But he's a bit better on the board than he has been previously. And when he's in A form, at least, his attacking awareness and finishing both hitting 90 with the game plan boost. So is a decent striker card for me. It's a bit of a shame he doesn't have aerial superiority and a bit more jumping because he's good in the air, this guy. But based on the game that this card is based on, he didn't score any headers, so I can understand that. And it was more about being in the right place at the right time, which is what he did. Because obviously he got a hat trick. And yeah, it's a decent card. So would like him to be a bit better aerially, but as a bit of an all-rounder with a fox in the box playing style, I think he looks like he could be fairly effective. Not amazing, not dominant in the air, but as a bit of an all-rounder of a centre forward, he looks like a decent card, certainly when he gets the booster with A form. And now we have our second player of the week, Kovačić, of this season. And this time he's an orchestrator. So previously he had his usual playing style, box to box. And this card is pretty similar to that previous player of the week one that was about a month ago, I think now. To be honest, the one key difference between this one and the previous one, not just the playing style, changing from box to orchestrator, but in the skills, this one's got first time shot instead of through passing, and that's a downgrade in my opinion. Sure, first time shot is a nice skill to have, but on a centre midfielder or a defensive midfielder, whichever of the three positions you play him in the middle of the park, to take through passing away is a big shame. So I think the previous player of the week one is better. The attributes are kind of shuffled around slightly, but pretty similar on the whole. He's got unwavering form. And what they've done with this guy, I mean to compare him to other previous versions just briefly, the trainable ones, there's been a trainable one that went to I think 95, and I think that's probably the best version we've had of Kovačić. A few others around 93 or so. So yeah, it's kind of pretty much on the par with most versions of Kovačić. But looking at his GP card, looking at what they've changed about him, he's had a pretty nice boost on his physical contact, on his defensives, obviously on his finishing because he scored twice. But we've got the same problem as the previous player of the week one. He's had a big nerf on his on-the-ball attributes here and his passing. On a centre midfielder, whether it's an out-and-out centre mid or defensive mid or especially attacking mid, the three positions he's got, any of those positions, his passing has been nerfed and it's not good enough anymore. 81 low pass, and he's not got through pass either. It's just such a shame because I don't understand why they've done that. I mean, I guess I do in a way, because if they gave him the boost they've given him elsewhere and they kept his passing around the sort of 90 plus, then you're going to have a really good card, and they don't want these cards to be comparable to the real paid ones, the legends and the double booster epics, whatever you want to call them. So I can understand in a way why they've done that, but it just ruins the card for me, just like the previous one, because his passing is normally a lot better. I think it's plus 90 the low pass with the game plan boost, whereas 81 on this for me, I don't want any of my midfielders, defensive centre mid or attacking mids, to have passing that low. Mid 80s minimum for me. So yeah, that's a big shame for me. Skill wise, I touched on that, but they're not just first time shot, they've also added long range curler and long range shooting. So when it comes to shooting, and with the attribute, his finishing attribute being boosted as much as it has, for sure is a really nice boost on his GP card. And he does have one-touch pass, and defensively we've got man marking and interception, so defensive mid or centre mid, okay, we've got a good selection of skills there. But attacking mid, we're lacking through passing, and the passing is just not good enough. For me, as an attacking mid, it's an absolute no-no. As a centre midfielder, I still don't think that passing is good enough. As a defensive midfielder, I think that's going to be where this card is best, and he's been boosted defensively and physically. He's very usable in that position, but you're just going to have to be very careful with his passing because he doesn't have through passing, and even though he's got one-touch pass, that low pass of 81 for me just isn't good enough. So plenty of qualities there, and a bunch of attributes that have had a really nice boost compared to his GP card. But for me, certainly in centre mid or attacking mid positions, I don't think that passing is good enough. And if you're using defensive mid even there, you have to be very careful with the passing. But if you don't mind that, if you're going to be careful with the passing, you think the attribute's okay as a defensive midfielder with the orchestrated playing style, he could be decent for you. I just think with the passing as it is, it just spoils the card a bit. Speaking of spoiling cards a bit, I'm going to cut to the chase on this one. I was really excited when I saw Thuram, because I like Thuram and eFootball. I've had his GP card since early on. I had it's a goal poacher 4-star GP card, and I still use it now and then from the national team challenge. So when I saw this version, aerial superiority, and I know he's got first time shot now, thinking, okay, this could be a really exciting card. And then I saw that they made him a target man. Why have they made him a target man? I watched the match. He didn't play as a target man. He never plays as a target man. Yes, he's good in the air, but that doesn't mean he's a target man. Messi's good at heading, but he's never been a target man. Ronaldo plays more like a target man than Thuram does, but they've never made Ronaldo a target man. So why did they make Thuram a target man? Why? I don't know. I just don't like the playing style, so that for me spoils the card. It's a big shame. If you like that playing style, this might be a really nice card for you though, because it's an interesting version of Thuram. So as I mentioned, target man now, he's normally a goal poacher. In terms of the attributes, he's fairly similar to a previous Player of the Week card that we had not long ago, to be honest. There's been a couple of trainable versions of Thuram that are slightly better than this one, but this one's pretty decent. What they've boosted compared to his GP card, heading and jumping, unsurprisingly, they've had a bit of a boost. And he has been given aerial superiority, so he's going to be pretty nice in the air. 6'3.5". He's not far from 6'4", so tall as well. So this guy is going to be pretty decent in the air. But apart from jumping and heading, they have boosted his finishing a bit. But on the downside, his attacking awareness has been nerfed a bit. Again, I don't understand why they've done that. Attacking awareness down to 83. Scores a hat-trick for Inter Milan. Attacking awareness down to 83. Okie dokie. Pace is down a little bit as well. And of course, an attacking player and Player of the Week, his bounce is down a bit. And they've taken a couple of points off his set pieces. Fair enough. But skill-wise, as I mentioned, aerial superiority, that is a very good addition. Obviously, that depends if you're ever going to likely to put crosses into the box. If you never put crosses into the box, then it's probably not going to be particularly useful for you. But if you don't ever put crosses in the box, you're probably not going to want to target man regardless. But what they've removed to make room for aerial superiority is Marseille turn. So still got a few skill moves there. Soul control is a nice one to have. But heading, acrobatic finishing, aerial superiority, he's going to be pretty good from crosses. And we've got first time shot, which he hasn't always had. Long range shooting as well. Heel trick's a nice one. So yeah, whatever height he is, 6'3", 6'4", the jumping, physical contact, heading, aerial superiority, and good finishing with acrobatic finishing and first time shot. On the floor or in the air, this guy's going to be able to take chances for you. He's got good pace for a target man. That's not going to come particularly handy because the target man just doesn't really move. They'll just kind of stand around, which is annoying. That's why I don't like the playing style. So yeah, really just, I think if you like a target man, he could be pretty good for you because he's going to be good in the air. It's not too bad on the ball for a target man. The attacking awareness is a bit low, like I say, that's frustrating, but and the passing is not brilliant. He's not got one-touch pass or through passing. So yeah, be a bit careful with his passing, but as a target man, it's a decent card just for what he is with the other attributes he's got. The fact it's Marcus Thuram, for me, that target man playing style spoils it. If you like the playing style, this could be a pretty good card for you. He's going to be good in the air. He's going to be very, very mobile for a target man in terms of his physical capabilities, even if he doesn't make many runs. But yeah, just depends what suits you. You like the target man playing style, this could be a pretty nice card. Just 1 or 2 frustrations. And before I finish up, I've not even activated the booster. What do we get from the booster? We get attacking awareness. Okay, so that goes back up a bit. Ball control goes at 81. That's nice. Finishing up to 88. Very nice. So that's going past 90 with the game plan boost. And we get a bit of acceleration back. That's another one that's been nerfed a bit from his GP card. So yeah, it doesn't really change a great deal though. It's still a bit frustrating for me with the playing style, but That's what it really comes down to for me, because if you do ever put crosses into the box, if you do like the target man playing style, this could be a pretty nice card for you. I imagine anyone who likes that playing style will be very pleased if you get this card, but if you don't like me, then yeah, that's a bit of a frustrating one, because he is a nice player to have in this game, and he's also in the nominating contract pack, the whatever it's called, the ones whose dads are good at football, that pack, he's in there. So for me personally, I'm going to get that one, put area superiority on him, and it'll be better than this one. And having said that, I'm probably going to get this one for my free spin now, but yeah, you like target men, could be a good one, otherwise maybe it's not. And now another hat-trick hero. We've got another Lewandowski. This is our 5,000th Player of the Week Lewandowski. He is a goal poacher again. I was hoping to be Fox in the box, but no such luck, unfortunately. But they've given him aerial superiority again, so depends how you use your strikers. You put cross in the box, that'll be a good one for you. One thing I'm going to say right off the bat with this guy, I had a previous trainable version of Lewandowski, and he was better statistically in the air. He had better jumping and physical, and I gave him aerial superiority, and he still wasn't that great in the air. That doesn't mean this guy won't be good in the air. It doesn't mean you're not going to have any joy with him putting crosses in, scoring headers, etc. But that's just my personal experience. So based on my personal experience, I'm not excited about this card. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, they're giving him aerial superiority. That's another reason why it's frustrating he's not a Fox in the box, to be honest. I like the Fox in the box playing style to get on the under crosses. But nonetheless, we've got aerial. Obviously, we've got heading and acrobatic finishing, long range shooting, all the other skills he usually has. First time shot, of course. He's got a booster as well. Let's go straight to the booster. Let's cut to it. I think we all know what to expect from a Lewandowski card, to be honest, at this point. They're all pretty similar. There's not a lot of difference between all the many versions we've had. You know, some are a bit better in some areas, a bit more pace, a bit more physical, a bit more technical ability. But on the whole, they're mostly pretty similar. And it's a pretty decent one. It's obviously not the best one at this point, but it's a pretty decent one. The awareness and finishing going past 90 on A-form before your game plan boost is great. He's pretty tidy on the ball for centre forward. The passing's alright for centre forward. The heading's decent. I think that's going to get to about 90 with your game plan boost. And you've got aerial superiority, of course. But just keep in mind that 6'1", jumping 81, physical 80, he's not going to be dominant in the air. But he will be better than he normally is with the aerial superiority. So decent in the air, even if he's not amazing in the air. Speed and acceleration will at least get to the 80 mark with the game plan boost. I will always say this with goal poachers, I like at least mid-80s for pace on a goal poacher, because goal poachers are constantly looking to get him behind the defence. Pace really allows you to make the most of that playing style, and he doesn't really have the pace, although it's quicker than some previous versions of Lewandowski, it has to be said. Decent kicking powers. Kicking powers had a bit of a boost. And of course, an attacking player and player of the week. They've taken about 6 off his balance. Excellent. His awareness is down a little bit as well. They always do that on player of the week when a striker's awareness is already in the 90s. So I don't mind that too much. As long as it's over 90, I'm happy enough. But they have taken a few off that. But yeah, the pace quicker than normal. They boosted his pace from his GP card. It's better than some previous versions of him. Heading's had a bit of a boost. Kicking power's up a little bit. Stamina's had a nice boost. Passing's had a nice boost actually as well. So yeah, this is a fairly nice version of Lewandowski. It's the same issue that I personally always have with poacher versions of Lewandowski, which is what he almost always is that I just would like a bit more pace on him, but he is quicker than he has been sometimes previously. On the whole, it's a pretty good version of him. If you don't mind the fact he's not the quickest, and if you like Lewandowski cards, if you do ever put crosses in the box, the fact he's got aerial now, I think this is ultimately a pretty nice version of Lewandowski. And for what it's worth, to make room for aerial superiority, they took away chip shot control. So yeah, on the whole, some attributes have got a pretty nice boost from his GP card. Obviously, the balance is down a bit. They always seem to do that. That's very annoying. I'd like a bit more pace. Otherwise, I would have preferred if he was a Fox in the box. But on the whole, if you don't mind that slight lack of pace on a goal poacher, and if you do like Lewandowski, this is a pretty decent version of him. We've had a lot of versions. If you've got a decent version of him already from Player of the Week or anywhere else, then you might not really need this one. But if you fancy a nice version of Lewandowski, you certainly could do a lot worse. It's a good striker card on the whole. And now we have a Bukayo Saka Player of the Week card for about the 50th time. But it's a decent one. And for the first time, they made him a cross specialist. That's the one real interesting thing about this Saka card. So he's normally a prolific winger. We've had a box-to-box version. I think it was an England version. I'm not sure if that's Player of the Week. But yeah, normally a prolific winger. We've got a cross specialist this time. A cross specialist will hug the touchline. They'll stay out wide. They'll constantly look to kind of be in a position to put crosses in from out wide. They won't be cutting inside too often. So if you like prolific wingers, he's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But if you like a cross specialist, this is an interesting card. So we've had a lot of Player of the Week cards of Saka, as I mentioned. Quite a few trainer ones as well. This is pretty much on a par with most of the better ones, to be honest. This is a very good version of Saka. There was a Showtime that was better. There might have been one or two boostable Player of the Week ones slightly better than this one, or certainly around the same level. But yeah, this is a good version of Saka. But I think it's the play style. It comes down to the playing style. If you really like that playing style, this could be a great card for you. And the other versions of Saka might be irrelevant because it's a very particular playing style. If you don't like that playing style, then you're probably not going to like this card. But looking at his GP card and in terms of what they've done with him, how different it is to the way he normally is, we've got a bit less stamina. We've got a bit less attacking awareness on an attacking player, obviously. They've nerfed his ball control and dribbling a little bit, which is very annoying. But his tight possession is up a little bit, to be fair. They boosted his defensives a little bit. His low pass is up a bit. His lofted especially is up a bit as well. So a cross specialist with 85 lofted pass. Does he have pinpoint crossing? Yes. So this guy is very usable as a crosser, as a cross specialist, really. And just look at the skills. Okay, so there's a bunch of skills they've changed. They've taken away Marseille turn, heel trick, that's a shame, low lofted pass, and gamesmanship. They've added first time shot, through passing, pinpoint crossing, as I mentioned, and blocker. Interesting. So we've got a very interesting bunch of skills here. So one or two skill moves there, but end product wise, first time shot, one touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, and then defensively down there we've got trap back and blocker as well. So it's a pretty interesting selection of skills he's got. He's got a bit of end product. For a wide man, his low passing will be decent. His crossing is not going to be top level. There are better crosses around, but 85 lofted, 80 curl, 81 kicking power, pinpoint crossing. He does have a decent cross on him with pinpoint crossing. So yeah, this is an interesting card. I think if you play him on the right to make the most of his crossing, you're obviously cutting inside, playing in swinging crosses, but playing him on the left, if you're going to use him as a cross specialist and make the most of what strengths he's got as a left footer, cross specialist, pinpoint crossing on the left, yeah, could be very, very effective if you like those types of winger. The dribbling is going past 90 with the game plan boost, the attacking managers to go past 80, finishing over 80 as well. Speed and acceleration will both be 90 plus with the game plan boost, decent balance. Yeah, it just comes down to that playing style at the end of the day. If you like a cross specialist, if you like putting crosses into the box, as a left winger, I think this is a very, very nice looking card. This is a very decent Saka card. If you're not so keen on the cross specialist playing style, if you like your wide men to cut inside and get into goal scoring positions and, you know, drift into the middle and stuff the way prolific wingers or roaming flanks do, or whole players from wide midfield, then I don't think it'll be for you. He's got end product, a good selection of skills. He's obviously going to be quick and good in the ball like he normally is. It just comes down to that playing style, really. If you don't like it, it might not be a great version of Saka for you. But if you do like that playing style, if you do like playing wingers who you know you can put cross into the box with, could be a really, really good card for you. And finally, we've got Federico Valverde from Real Madrid. So we've got our regular playing style, box to box. Had a bunch of Player of the Week versions of Valverde, to be honest, and trainable ones. This is pretty much on a par with the better version of Valverde that we've had, certainly from Player of the Week. There are a few trainer ones that went to sort of 100, 101 with the game plan boost. So one or two that went slightly higher than this, but otherwise, this is a pretty good version of Valverde. Unwavering form as always, and as I say, the regular playing style, box to box. And in terms of attributes, what they've changed from his GP card, got a bit of a nice boost on his physical contact, on his defensives, and his finishing. So pretty much the same boost that Kovačić had, to be honest. But they've not nerfed his passing quite so bad. It's down a little bit, I think, but it's still okay. It's still decent. They've actually increased his balance by 1. Awesome. In terms of the skills, just one change. We've got blocker. So that's a nice one to have as a centre mid. You can use this guy wide right, but as a right-footed player, as a right-sided forward, without pinpoint crossing, without outside curl, I don't think you're really going to use him there. To get the most out of this guy, you're obviously going to use him the way he's supposed to be used, which is centre midfield, box to box. He's got one touch pass and through passing. He's got interception and now blocker and fighting spirit. A couple of he's got a bunch of shooting skills actually. Long range curler, dipping shot, rising shot, long range shooting, acrobatic finishing. So shooting, passing, bit of defensive work as well. So the skills are a pretty complete set of skills really for a centre mid. Pretty decent pace for centre mid. Great kicking power. Physical contact's decent. It's had a bit of a boost. Balance is the one frustration always with Valverde. I don't know why it's so low. I've never really considered that his balance is poor. I've seen quite a bit from most of us have. So yeah, I don't know why they keep doing him dirty with the balance, but he does have poor balance. But the defense is all over 80 before the game plan boost. On the ball, not brilliant, but decent enough. Passing, I would like it to be a bit higher, but you can't really complain too much. It's a shame they're taking a few points off there, but again, I think they just have to make sure these cards aren't too comparable to the real paid ones in those legend boxes. That's the sad reality of this game these days. But yeah, passing still decent enough. I think that goes to 87, 88 with the game plan boost. Finishing very decent with the shooting skills he's got as well. So yeah, he can do a bit of everything. It's not the best version of Valverde that we've had. I would like one or two attributes to be a bit higher, a bit more on his passing. I would like bit more on the ball, to be fair, as well. Certainly I'd like more balance, but he's got plenty of qualities. He's got a good search and his skills. They've added blocker as well, unwavering form. There's a lot of good things about this card. So yeah, one or two frustrations. There always are with these cards, but if you don't have a good version of Valverde, this is like a really solid centre midfield box-to-box card. So there is your regular player of the week selection. I'll be reviewing the Champions League one later today, hopefully, so keep your eyes out for that. As for this one, it's alright. I don't think it's amazing though. With all the strikers who scored hat-tricks, I was pretty hopeful there'll be at least one or two very good strikers, but I think target man spoils Marcus Thuram for me personally. Lewandowski, I'd have preferred him as a fox. He's a bit quicker than he sometimes is, but still not as quick as I'd like for a goal poacher. Retegui, I would like if he had aerial superiority, but he does look like a decent striker, to be fair. Kovačić, I don't know why they've taken so many points of his passing again. That spoiled that card. Rutter got some qualities, nice boost on him, but just doesn't look that great in any position really. Davitashvili got some qualities. Some people might really enjoy him, but he's got some weaknesses as well. Kehrer, decent, but nothing exciting. Boscagli, not for me. Gazzaniga, reflexes aren't what they could be. I think I've got the previous player of the week card actually of his, which I'll keep instead if I get this one. Saka, if you like crossing, yeah, looks like a good card. And then Valverde, solid centre mid. So there are a few decent cards in there, and it's going to depend what you like from your play style and the kind of profile of the player. But it's not an overly exciting pack for me personally. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found that useful. I'm not going to do a free spin now. I'm trying desperately to do a stream at some point. It's international week, so I'm going to should have some time at the weekend. So keep your eyes peeled on the Discord and then the community tab. I will post once I've figured out when I'm going to do a stream. I'm going to hopefully do a stream during the day, either Saturday or Sunday. You know, I've got a bunch of free spins. I'll do them all at once for you. Maybe we'll do some co-op together and stuff. So keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, for this one, thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. Let me know who you've spun. Let me know what you think of the pack. And keep your eyes out for the Champions League Player of the Week review. I'll be getting that up hopefully later today. And of course, the nominating contract and match pass one. So yeah, cheers for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.